Hello, hello, and welcome back to another episode of Struggle. Let's call it that way. As I keep learning and understanding Fresco and, you know, in general, how the 2D workflow could work, for me anyway. And the next one, like if you guys saw the previous video, we had the bouncing ball, which we have here. And now I just want to use the same base so we don't have to go through the same setup and just turn this and add the squash and stretch. Okay, so a squash and stretch is a great technique that has been used, forever in animation, and basically allows us to, you know, literally squash and stretch, meaning like we can squish things, we can stretch things to emphasize, let's say, compression or acceleration, and is mostly used in cartoons, right? Because you want to exaggerate reality, exaggerate the poses, but it also happens in real life as well. Not in a way that's actually stretching, but the closest thing that I could think of is, for example, a car, suspension on a car. You can see that when the car goes down, you get the suspension kind of takes the weight, so you get that kind of like squash, right? But then when there's a jump or something, you get that stretch because the weight gets lifted off the wheels, and so you got that kind of extension. Again, this is pretty like rudimentary way of describing it. Like, also, like I'm saying, like I'm not teaching you guys animation. I'm just, otherwise I will have something different. But if you want to, then we can really break those things down. So just to keep going forward, basically what we need is we're gonna try and let's duplicate this frame. All right, and so basically we want this to now squash to help the the propulsion, let's say, so it's gonna stretch. Maybe we can make it a little bit bigger to retain some of the volume. Okay, so we're gonna squash. Maybe we can squash it a little bit more. Okay, we can say this is good, right? Then what we need is probably like a stretched pose. Okay, so we could duplicate this again. I duplicated the wrong one. Give a second. Let's duplicate this one. Oh, why is he duplicating that? I don't understand. Oh, it's just it didn't update the look of it. Okay, so I could just move this after. Oh, now it's updated. So that just it's just not quite working. Okay, let's get the lasso. Let's transform again. I mean, ideally, people that know how to draw properly can do this, just by the, actual drawing the sphere, like the good old the nine old man will do. Okay, so what we're doing here is, as you can see, we are starting from the normal sphere. We're squashing it, we are stretching it, and that almost like when you jump, right? When you jump, let me just try to draw on a fresh one. If you were to jump, right, you would, if this is your legs, right, you got those legs here. If you want to jump, what you do, you just go down with your body, right? You bend your knees, right? And then you explode up for the jump, right? So you kind of like extend your feet on the toes and you extend up, right? So this is kind of the same principle. And that's what I'm saying, is like you can apply this on everything, really, pretty much anything. So this is what we're doing. We are basically starting from the sphere, which is, let's say, your idling pose when you're standing. Then we are squashing it, which is again going down with your root or with your hips, and basically create that kind of like bent knees type of framing. And then boof, you explode up. Okay, even your whole body, your torso, your neck, everything just gets longer. Okay, and that's the stretching position. Now we can delete this, and we can keep going. So squatching, stretching, and then probably this one is okay. What we really need is, we don't want it to pop directly into the normal sphere size, right? So what we can do, just to help the flow a little bit, we just keep it a little bit, just a little bit elongated, It's not quite formed the circle yet, but it's not quite as stretchy as it was. But it's gonna help when we play it to just give us that sense. Let's see. Yeah, as you can see now, we got that nice compression down, which helps a lot. Okay, but we can continue. We could do the same. We keep going up. Again, this one, you could argue that, hey, why not? Let's not have it 100%. Let's just still have it a little bit elongated, just a little bit. Okay. Okay, and then we can go down. Like I said, someone else with some good skill, like drawing skills, can actually do this properly. What we need here as well, we could potentially, maybe, you know what, maybe this one is still a little bit too elongated, so we could try and minimize this a little bit and make sure we're not losing too much like that. And we keep going up here. Now it's back to normal. We can even, looks like the spacing could be better here. We could push this one closer to the top, just a touch. Just a touch. Okay, let's go play. You can see that I'm not aligned perfectly at the top. Looks like there's a little bit of a kink in the motion when we go up there. See, we kind of like, we're going from right to left. So what we need to do is just make sure that we move this one. I'm going to use this because it's a bit more precise. Okay, let's try. Yeah, that feels better. Okay, now what we want to do probably is, maybe we can also do the opposite, as almost like a drop of water, you know, coming coming down, or like stretching a little bit. So we can kind of like stretch this a little bit. I use this because it's much better. I need to figure out how to remove the, um, the snapping when I don't want it to. Okay, so now we got that. It needs to be a bit longer, so we need probably, we can definitely keep this one going into the stretch. We can make it a long stretch. We can make it, this is really, really stretched. Okay, and this is the fun stuff about experimenting with this, is womp, womp, womp. And again, now it starts to become alive. Okay, it's no longer, let's say, a ping pong a ping pong ball. This could be a character that's jumping towards you. You know what I mean? What is missing is legs and arms, or whatever you wanna add. It just feels like it's getting a little bit too big. So what I'm gonna do is, whatever this is, I'm gonna make it a touch a touch smaller. Okay, and then at the moment we go straight from this frame to this one. And it always works better if, and I can duplicate this one, and then I can move it down so it touches the ground, let's say, touches the floor in the extended position, right? So it contact the base or the floor stretched, we can even make it more so. Okay, it's like the ultimate stretch, right? And then hopefully is aligned. And then what happens is that we're gonna feel that compression, right? We're gonna feel that extra frame is really gonna give us that extra bonk, plonk, plonk. Okay, it's almost like now you can believe that this is, it could be a bunny, it could be anything, it could be anything you want. Okay, and like I said, if we continue to add frames, it will become more and more smooth, right? And all you need to do again is you need to carefully decide how you move from one frame to the, like, we can try, right? In the 3D software, the software like Maya will give you the interpolation automatically. So you basically, the computer does the calculation for you. Here you have to do it yourself. Okay. And so if we were to, and the great thing about the onion skinning is you can see what's going on, right? So if I were to try, I could again select this. I could, again, you don't have to necessarily do everything with this tool here. Like I'm not sure if there's like a distort or something, what that does to. And you want to keep it on the floor, of course. All right. So let's see what that does. Again, you have to make sure that you add all the frames that you need. Otherwise, if you have more frame in an area and less in other ones, your timing will be different. So for example, right now it feels very slow at the bottom here, right? And it's just because we have more frames, and meaning that it's calculating more time. All right. That was fun to do. I actually didn't think that was gonna happen. One thing I want to change before I finish this is that maybe this one we could try and lift it off a little bit, just a touch off the ground, because it's feeling a little bit sticky when I play it, right? It almost feels like it stick to the ground and then goes. We want to make it feel like, all right. Well, hope you enjoyed this little exercise here, and maybe the next one we'll do the ball that maybe moves from left to right or something. It's the same concept. It's just a little bit more. It adds a little extra complexity because we need to start thinking about the arcs and all that kind of stuff, which it's fun, but again, it's more stuff to think about. All right, guys, thank you for your time, and I will talk to you guys very soon. Bye bye.